Wow, this looks beautiful. Zack Snyder has posted this yesterday to celebrate and mark the 4th of July and Independence Day. Wow, what a picture. Snyder knows exactly when to strike, and his wife Deb posted this too. Hello, I'm Mick, and welcome back to Movies TV Mag. You can follow me on X Twitter at Movies TV Mag and on Instagram, MinusMick7, MinusMick7, and on TikTok, Mad Mickey's World. A very warm welcome to Sunday's edition of the DC Show. I'm out of sorts. I've been cleaning this mansion all day. My back is killing me. I can barely speak, even though I'm speaking, and my eyes are closing. So bear with me, because I really wanted to chat to you today. Today I just wanted to have a more of a random ramble, just talking about what's going on with DC and Gunn and Snyder. So does this actually mean anything? I don't think this actually means anything at all right now. I just think it's a fucking amazing picture. While James Gunn didn't have the guts to do the whole truth, justice, and the American way thing, Zack Snyder has got Superman right there, and behind him is the American flag. Well done, Zack Snyder. Because you know what? Being proud of your nation. I'm not American, but I went to high school in LA because my dad had a job at a studio in Hollywood, as I keep on telling you. So I spent some time in America, but that's not the point. I'm Anglo-Greek Cypriot. I was born and raised in the UK, mostly. Spent, most of my life in the UK, apart from the time I spent in Hollywood, California as a teenager at high school. And moved to Cyprus several times because my parents were born here. And I've been here now since 2013, and I'm very proud of being raised as a Brit. But I'm an Anglo-Greek Cypriot, and I'm very proud to be Greek Cypriot as well. That doesn't make me a racist. Being proud, waving your flag, being proud of your flag, being proud of your country, that's not racist. It is if you use patriotism as an excuse to be bigoted and racist and, say to people, I want you out of my country, get out of my country. Of course that's racist, but merely being proud of your country and waving flags, the flag of your country, isn't racist. It should be a positive thing. It should be applauded. Not everyone has to be patriotic, and that's okay, but we shouldn't be attacking people who are patriotic. Now, Superman represents patriotic themes. I mean, look at the costume. Look at Wonder Woman's costume. Look at Spider-Man's costume. I mean, these people are absolutely, it's a way of being patriotic, saying, well, Superman's wearing our colours. Superman came from another planet and made a life for himself in America. He was raised by Americans. He decided to use what he had from his DNA in the other place that he was to help America. But not just America, the whole world. And if you've read a lot of Superman comics, you'll know that he's travelled to other planets and he's helped alien life forms as well. So Superman is there for everyone. But he was born in America, so to say that he's quintessentially American isn't racist. It's absolutely fine. And so this is brilliant. I think this is absolutely fantastic. For once I'm going to say to you, I don't think it means anything about the future. It's just Zack Snyder being proud of his Superman. And he should be. Henry Cavill as Superman is the fucking GOAT. I mean, Christopher Reeve is still my Superman. Henry Cavill's my Superman too. But Chris was my first Superman. I think that's okay, right? I don't think I'm going to be cancelled for saying that, right? I love Henry as Superman. I don't think I ever thought there will be another actor playing Superman that would come anywhere near as iconic as Chris. But Henry Cavill, I think, equaled what Christopher Reeve did in a different contemporary way. Yes, so I don't think Snyder's hinting anything. He may be, but I think it's great to see how proud of his DC films he actually is. Now let's go over to the elephant in the room, which is James Gunn. And today I want to have a little calm conversation about that situation. It's about a year ago when James Gunn revealed that video when he and Henry Cavill, let me say that again, when he and David Cornsweet, not Henry Cavill, got Cavill on the brain, not a bad thing to have in your brain, by the way, but yeah, it was when Gunn released that video, that BTS video of himself and David Cornsweet disagreeing about Superman's monologue. It was such a horrible monologue, wasn't it? It was so whiny. And then we see how Gunn's explaining it to him. Your feelings are hurt. Tell him your feelings are hurt. That's not Superman. And it just shows you, how Gunn misunderstood Superman. Because that monologue is so transparent, isn't it? It's like, I'm a human being, I'm like everybody else. The whole idea is to tell the audience that he's not a Superman, he's just an ordinary man. But he's not. He is a Superman. It's all right for him to have a human mentality because he pretty much only knows humanity. He was raised by humans, as I said earlier, and that's okay. But that monologue is really problematic. And David Cornsweet could see it. David Cornsweet just didn't get it. We didn't get it. When I got what Gunn was trying to do with it, but it simply doesn't work, does it? And I think as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh God. But it is, I suppose it's very similar to the dance-off in when Chris Pratt's dancing at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, if you think about the climax, the third act of Superman 2025, I mean, he has a little fight with Ultraman, but then he goes and finds Lex, and then all kind of chaos ensues. It's a bit weird. You got Superman saying this transparent monologue, which I always hate, which a lot of people hate, including the actor who played Superman in that film, David Cornsweet. So Superman's saying all this, right? Then all of a sudden, Lex Luthor responds. But before Lex can finish what he's saying, Krypto is doing what the Hulk did to Loki in Avengers Assemble. It's ridiculous. Undercutting a dramatic moment with stupid comedy. And I think Krypto was a huge problem in Superman 2025. And I think he was a huge problem in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow as well. But I think the biggest issue is Gunn's mindset around Superman and these DC characters. Because clearly he doesn't get Superman. He doesn't understand Supergirl. The problem with Gunn, he's only got one way of doing these stories. And you may be able to get away with Guardians and the MCU because it's that kind of a franchise. But with DC, you've got to look back at the films and TV shows that we've had. They've had a lot of nuance. Forget about the box office. Some people say, yeah, but Marvel have done better financially. I don't give a shit about that. I'm talking about the kind of films we've seen. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Batman 66 movie. Even that has a little bit of nuance at times. Superman 78 has plenty of nuance. Superman 2 has plenty of nuance. And the fight between Superman and Clark Kent in Superman 3 is awesome. And there's some other great moments in that film as well. Even Superman Returns has moments of great nuance. Batman 89, Batman Returns, movies with great nuance. Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, moments of great nuance. The Batman, moments of great nuance. The Joker, 2019's The Joker, directed by Todd Phillips. Plenty of moments of nuance. But there's no nuance in the DCU by James Gunn. There's no nuance in Creature Commandos, or Peacemaker Series 2, or Superman, or Supergirl. Gunn can't do nuance. He hates end battles. We know that. He hates third act battles. And a lot of people hate the end CGI battles. But imagine, as I keep on saying, imagine playing a game, but you don't get to fight the end boss. So I quite like those end battles, but you don't always have to do them. There are other ways around it, but I'm just wondering. I mean, Wonder Woman 84 had that whole let's not do an end battle. Was that better? I know why they didn't have an end battle at the end of Wonder Woman 84, because Patty Jenkins can't direct fucking action. I mean, that fight between Wonder Woman and Cheetah was fucking embarrassing. But I do like to see, a good hero versus end boss battle. I enjoy Superman versus Zod. In Man of Steel, I enjoy Superman versus the Free Kryptonians, the free villains from Krypton in Superman 2. That was the first superhero, supervillain battle I ever saw. I love seeing He-Man versus Skeletor in the 1987 Masters of the Universe movie. I thought it was really, really cool. So I don't know why critics and some fans suddenly started hating third act battles. You've got to solve the story somehow. Some people complain about the end battle between Superman and Zod in Man of Steel because there was a kind of battle already in Metropolis. But that was the first fight, yeah? It was different. It's a bit like Aquaman, the first one. Like Orm and Aquaman have a fight, have that battle, don't they? They have that challenge. But then they fight briefly at the end of the movie in a different way. So it works. I like that end battle. I mean, I don't think there's an end battle I've really hated. I mean, the end battle in Black Adam isn't great. I do like the way he rips his head off at the end. That's kind of cool. And sometimes I think you don't have to do an end battle. I think the Ares versus Wonder Woman is absolutely fantastic because it's not just a physical, visual CGI battle. It's emotional because Ares is tempting Diana to the dark side. So I think that third act battle works in Wonder Woman 2017. Again, lots of people loved that film but didn't like the end battle. But the end third battle was a studio ordered fight. I think the studio were right. I enjoyed the end battle of Wonder Woman 2017. It's not for everyone. You're entitled to have your views on it, whatever it is. But I was quite mystified how people hated the third act of Wonder Woman 2017. I thought it was a brilliant third act. I don't know what else the movie could have given you. But back to Gunn. He doesn't like those kind of third act battles. So he gives us a little fight between Ultraman and Superman, but he doesn't really like them. I mean, if you look at the Suicide Squad, right, like the monster, whatever it's called, I forgot what his name was, right? He's doing the destruction. There isn't a fight in the end, really. It is different. I kind of like it. I'm a fan of the Suicide Squad, mostly. There's things I don't like. There are gunnerisms in the Suicide Squad I certainly don't like. But all in all, I think that was the last half-decent movie he actually made, and of course it flopped. We will never know if it was because of COVID or because, I don't know. But it didn't make money. And history will say that 2021's The Suicide Squad, written and directed by James Gunn, was a flop. And that's it, really. But he's been a disaster. And we really need to discuss what happens next. Well, if you think he's going to leave DC Studios without a fight, without causing trouble, you've got another thing coming. Have you ever been divorced before? That's like this. He's a problematic person who doesn't want the divorce, but he's going to take he's going to take everything from the other partner before he goes. He's going to cause so much trouble before he goes. It's the same thing he did with Guardians 3. He wouldn't let go of that movie. He wouldn't allow anyone else to direct it, right? And as I said before, he got all his crew and cast to down tools. And it worked. It was effective. So there's no way you could get him replaced with Man of Tomorrow. Because I think his cast and crew, who probably like him, I don't know why, but they do. People like working with him. Mostly because he works with his mates. But I mean, David Cronsworth and Rachel Brosnahan are not James Gunn's friends. But I think they probably like him, despite David Cornsworth disagreeing with that transparent monologue from Superman 2025. So I don't think that will be successful. And I think it will be a messy situation to replace him as the director of Man of Tomorrow. It's his movie, it's his vision. I mean, you could cancel the movie. I mean, they're about halfway through it. He's probably done, he's probably working on it right now, so they're over halfway through it now. But I don't think you can get anyone else to start making and directing that movie. If you're going to continue with that movie, James Gunn must finish it, because it'll be a disaster. Because you're going, look, we all got angry how Snyder was removed and Whedon replaced him. So, as much as I have issues with Gunn, I'll go as far as say I'm not a fan. I don't really like him. I used to say I do like James Gunn. It's not about hate. It's not about hate, but I'm starting to dislike him a little bit now as well. But I still want to be fair to him. I was angry about Zack being replaced by Whedon and his movie being recycled, and I would feel the same way for James. I mean, it would be calmer, right, because he was mates with Joss Whedon. He didn't care that he was replacing Zack. But I don't think it would be fair for him to be replaced. And I mean, replacing someone to finish off that movie would be a disaster. Because it's Gunn who has a vision for this movie, nobody else. So it's not a good idea to do that. I mean, it would be a very WB thing to do to replace him and get someone else to finish the movie. I don't think it's advisable, if you ask me. So let's just assume they're going forward with Man of Tomorrow, because it seems like they're going forward with Man of Tomorrow. Now, according to the producer of Man of Tomorrow and Supergirl, David Ellison is fine with Gunn finishing Man of Tomorrow. So we'll see if that's true. And then, of course, will Man of Tomorrow be a good film? Will Man of Tomorrow be a successful film? Again, I don't think Ellison cares. I think if Man of Tomorrow was a huge hit, Ellison would go with it and say, well, it's a hit, so we can't get rid of him now. I don't think anything's going to happen until Man of Tomorrow is released. I wouldn't expect, if Ellison's clever, because say if Man of Tomorrow is successful, then, Ellison's going to have egg on his face. But Ellison may not care. Ellison may just want to get rid of Gunn and bring his own people in. Don't know. But from the outside looking in, I would say that no moves will be made until Man of Tomorrow is released next year. Because it's just about a year away or whatever it is, right? So they may as well wait. Personally, I wouldn't let him finish Man of Tomorrow. He'd be out immediately. I wouldn't let him complete the movie. I'd boot Gunn and Safran out immediately. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. Stay right here. Yes, absolutely. I would have got rid of Gunn immediately. I mean, look, any competent studio head like Ellison should be able to see that he should go now. So it's interesting he's allowing Gunn to finish this movie, because this could be a lucky escape for Gunn if Man of Tomorrow is successful. Now here's the truth. I can hear you shouting at me and typing away. Nobody knows what kind of film Man of Tomorrow is going to be. Now a lot of you again are shouting at me and tapping away, and I can understand that. I get it. You're saying, well, Mick, he only knows how to make one film. That's correct. But he may actually do a good version of the only film he knows how to make this time. I don't know. It's not looking good for him. And even if he makes a great movie, will people come out to support it and watch it? I mean, listen, we're all on the internet all day. We can see what's happening. He's being memed. He's being mocked. Supergirl has dropped over 70% on its second weekend. I mean, they were talking about 60%. I knew it would be 70, 80%. Friday to Friday, I think it's actually 80%. So you're talking about a disaster. So James Gunn's reputation right now is on the floor. That's why if I was Ellison, if I was coming in, if it was up to me, Gunn and Safran would be out now. And I'd rebuild quickly. And you know how I would run DC Studios. Get a director in to make a DC movie of their choice. A great director, right? Get them to make it. Hopefully people love it. It makes money. Then bring someone else in to make the next movie. And let them take about 2 to 3 years to do it. And that's how I do it. If you approach me, you want to do, and I would want to do, as I keep on saying, a Green Lantern cinematic universe. Because that's never been done before. We've had one Green Lantern movie. But I keep on telling you, the potential of the Green Lantern core universe, yeah? All the different lanterns, the planet OR, I keep on saying it's Star Wars in the DC universe. So I would bring in the right people. I would bring in a comic book guy to write the movie. Someone who's written Green Lantern before. And then bring in a great director who can really give us great cinematography and give us a great looking Green Lantern set of movies. That's something else I would do. But I wouldn't have more than one DC movie a year. I think that has to stop. We are not in the place now with comic book movies. It's been oversaturated. We know that. And because the quality's so bad, and I think that is a problem as well. If you try and force people to make too many DC movies or MCU movies a year, you suck the creative juice out of them. Because the schedules, everyone's panicking with a short schedule. But if you say to a writer-director, right, James Cameron, make me a Superman movie, right? I want you to take 3 fucking years, take your time. Probably wouldn't be a Superman movie. I mean, I love Superman. He's my #1 favourite character in fiction. But I don't think we're ready for another Superman film yet, right? Another character, whatever he wanted to make, right? So James Cameron, I want you to write and direct a DC movie of your choice. Take your time, yeah? The floor is yours. That's what I would look like. Not necessarily James Cameron, I'm just giving you an example, right? Anyone talented, they wouldn't have to be a famous director. But I think, having one cinematic universe that connects everything doesn't work. Because my Green Lantern cinematic universe would be separate to anything anyone else was doing. You wouldn't have to tie in Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman into what's going on in the Green Lantern core, the Green Lantern core cinematic universe. And that's the way I would do it. I was quite annoyed when Gunn came in. Not that, at first I supported Gunn, but I thought, not another cinematic universe. And I've also said it before, forcing these people to have streaming shows as well as cinematic movies is a problem. I think if you're going to do that, they should just be a little bit of animation, right? Something silly that you can miss, yeah? Because we know that everyone's being priced out. The consumer's being priced out of streaming, and these streaming services are not available all over the world. So you can't say to someone, right, it's homework time, it's the next DC movie. Oh, sorry, you can't afford HBO Max, or it's not available in your country. Tough titty. But if everything's available in cinema, everyone has the opportunity to go to the cinema. I know some people can't afford to go, and you have my sympathies. But mostly, if you want to watch a film in the cinema, you'll probably find the cash from somewhere, because you don't have to go to IMAX. You don't have to go to the big screens. You can go. There are SD screens. I mean, I go to SD screens. Yeah, I watched Supergirl on an SD screen. I didn't, the movie would have to be very important. Yeah, I didn't even see last year's Superman on an IMAX screen, right? Because I'm not really a fan of IMAX. I'm not. I don't see the big deal in it, to be honest with you. I get just as much enjoyment of watching something in SD than in IMAX. And, obviously I stand alone there. So that's what I would do with DC. But something is absolutely clear. That competent leadership is needed now. My concern is, as I said earlier, I don't think Gunn's going to go without a fight. So I think this is all going to take time, because I think it looks like Man of Tomorrow will be finished. It will be released next year. So he's got one last chance. That's what it looks like. I mean, who knows? I mean, this business is very unpredictable. And forget what studios and producers say publicly, like the Supergirl Man of Tomorrow producer who said, oh, you know, David Ellison's like, he's got our back, blah, blah, blah. You can't believe a word these fucking people say. And things change in this business very, very quickly. But we can only go with the information we've got right now. And the information we've got right now is that James Gunn is going to be able to finish making and shooting and directing Man of Tomorrow, and it will be released last year. If that's the case, he has one last chance to redeem himself. This has to be the movie of his career. But of course, I said this about Superman. I said, this has to be a generational Superman film. And it wasn't. But I have a feeling that Gunn, look, as egomaniacal as Gunn is, he must know the situation. He must be able to read the room. That this is his career. This has to be a good movie. You know, and at the end of the day, because I think he's pushing up the level of this movie. But this is the problem, because he really needed to make a generational Superman movie. And they should have made a generational Supergirl movie. I mean, look, Supergirl hasn't got a great history in live action adaptations in terms of box office and television ratings. We know that. But Supergirl is an interesting character. You can make a great Supergirl movie if you try. And I've explained how you could have done that. If you had to adapt Woman of Tomorrow, get Tom King to write the screenplay and get your director, a really good director that you brought in, to work with King to make the best Supergirl movie and make the relationship between Kara and Ruthie the heart of the film. That's all you had to do. It's quite simple, really. So it's beyond me why Gunn didn't do this, why he had to be so hands-on. And for the people defending him, like Comics Explained, who keeps on, simping for Gunn and coping for Gunn, let me tell you this. If you think this is not Gunn's fault, why did he interfere? And why didn't he just write and direct the movie himself? Why don't he just write and direct the movies, all the movies, right? People will say, well, Mick, he's been making Man of Tomorrow, but hang on a minute. If he wants to guide all these movies, don't make Man of Tomorrow yet. Supergirl's the next movie. James, write and direct Supergirl. Yeah, you don't have to have all these movies a year. You don't have to Clayface and Supergirl in 1 year. Just make Supergirl, right? You made the first one, right? Make the second one. Then make Man of Tomorrow. Because, James, you interfered in Supergirl so deeply. You may as well have written and directed the movie, and then after you did that, then you could have got into production of Man of Tomorrow. Because you lied, James, basically. You said each film's going to be different. You're going to allow those writers and directors to do it their own way, and you lied. This is the James Gunn show. And hey, it's your head on the chopping block. It's your name on the door. I get it. So if you just want the James Gunn show, write and direct every movie. Tell them you only want one movie released a year and work on a movie at a time. Because basically Supergirl is your movie. You just told other people what to do and how to make it the way you would have made it. So it's mystifying to me, considering he wants so much control of each movie and each streaming show, why he doesn't just make them all himself, a film or a streaming show at a time. Because you can't interfere with other people's work. You brought in Tom King and you got an inexperienced writer to write the script. You had Tom King there. You brought in Craig Gillespie, a really good director. Yeah? Can we all agree that Craig Gillespie is a solid director, right? I've enjoyed his other movies, by the way. I don't think he's like Martin Scorsese, or Quentin Tarantino. I'm just saying he's a capable director. So if you don't want to use these people, if you just want them there for their names, then you may as well, James, just make a movie at a time, a streaming show at a time, and write and direct the stuff yourself. I think that's the best way, if that's what you want. I don't think that's going to work out for you. I don't think everything being the James Gunn way is working right now, is it? But I don't think you're going to listen to me, are you, James? So it's all on Man of Tomorrow. Basically, James Gunn is on the guillotine right now. And Man of Tomorrow has to be a great movie, and it has to be successful. If you've been chatting with me on my live premiere, thank you very much. I enjoy the interactions. And if you just happen to watch the live premiere, I appreciate you too. Or if you're just viewing the video randomly, thank you very much. But please, everyone, if you like the channel, if you enjoy the chin wags we have daily, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And please tell as many people about me as possible. I understand I don't edit my videos. My equipment isn't great. My microphone isn't great. My camera isn't great. But at the end of the day, if you're watching the video and you can hear what I'm saying and you can see me and you like what you're seeing and hearing, why not support the channel? I will talk to you again tomorrow.